Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really sorry for a delay. There is a legitimate reason, but I will probably talk about it in my next video. So I decided to sit on the couch to talk about it today because I looked back at my video for the first one and I was a bit cringe. I was standing like I was doing a presentation. So I wanted to make it a bit more comfy. Hopefully it's also a bit more enjoyable for you to watch as well. Today we're going to talk about the two competitions I did in August, which one of them qualified me for Olympia 2022. The shows I did were Orchid Pro in Singapore and Pacific USA's in San Diego. Let's talk about the prep first, shall we? So before Orchid Pro, I took 7 months off. And before that, I only had my pro debut in America. I did San Antonio Pro and Minneapolis Pro, which both shows I did place 5th. I was extremely grateful about that. It was such a good learning experience. Before I went to America, I really didn't know what to expect. So I had super low standard. I thought, okay, I would probably be super happy if I placed top 10. I would be praying for second call out. But obviously I exceeded my own expectation. I did a lot better than I thought, and it was such a great feeling to know that this stage is where I belong. Before I did my pro debut, I've always had doubts in myself, and I've always felt that, do I belong to the IFBB Pro League? I was also like, yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it, but maybe a separate topic. But I always had doubts. So to actually have placed there have given me a lot of recognition of myself and reassurance. So I knew this is what I should pursue. But of course, without stepping on those stages, I would never know what to improve because I've never stand next to pros, and it happened that there were quite a few Olympians in those shows. I placed just behind them, and main feedback from judge was that I needed more glutes. They said if I wanted to be comparable to Olympians, then I have to grow my glutes. So that's what I did. In my off season, I had been working non-stop. But I still had rest day because rest days are important. But I had never taken a day where I felt it was an off-season day. Every day was to improve. Every day was to do better. Every training session, I envisioned myself stepping on stage with a better package. So every day there was a purpose. So when I started prepping for Orchid Pro Singapore, I was so excited because it was the first Asian show that was open to international athletes after COVID started. Because before that, there was a lot of restrictions traveling, and I could never go into any Asian countries without having to quarantine. So it was the first one after pandemic started, and I was super excited. I knew I would probably face some really tough competitors as well. I'd seen the list, and there was obviously an Olympian from Thailand, Natalia. She's also my teammate. And there are some really amazing physiques from all over the world, from Australia, Mongolia, India, Japan, and obviously Hong Kong as well. So it was never gonna be an easy show. I always feel that obviously there could be shows that might have like a bigger lineup, tougher lineup, But I've always believed that there is no such thing as an easy pro show, because everyone stepping on that stage was a winner from some shows, right? They all had to work so hard to win an amateur show to become a pro. So to say that there is easy pro show is not accurate. So I was quite open-minded going into the show, but I also have this weird confidence that maybe I can take it. Getting closer to show day, I actually, the fire inside me started to grow bigger and bigger, and I went from wanting to place first call out to top 3, and then towards the end I told James, my boyfriend, I want to win. And every day I would just walk around the gym and look at him, I want to win. And he was like, kind of like, yeah. He believed in me, but he also wanted me to stay more neutral about it, because you just never know in bodybuilding shows. You never know who will show up and how they will show up and how you look compared to next to each other. I flew to Singapore a few days before the competition because my coach originally is based in Hong Kong, but since pandemic started, he's already been a world traveler. He's been living in Dubai, going to US, UK, etc., going to all the pro shows to get feedback as well. So it's really useful for me and my prep, because he's been speaking to a lot of judges to see what they really look for. Because one thing about America last year was that even though my coach was super attentive and he tried to check in on me every single day, or sometimes few times a day during peak week, at the end of the day through online it's not the most accurate. So in America we both agree that I probably went in a little bit too hard, a little bit too conditioned. So this time we really wanted to nail the conditioning. During peak week, my coach came to my hotel to check on me every single day. Before that, I was quite like neutral. Then he started giving me more confidence because he saw me, he was very happy with how I looked. And then he kept telling me, you definitely stand a chance. It's an open show, anyone could take it, and you could as well. Yeah, so obviously I was just super excited. And on show day, for some reason, if you guys follow me on IG, you know that I'm quite active on my stories, so I always like post about different things on story. But for some reason, that specific day, on show day, I didn't want to be on social media. I felt so calm, and I feel like I just didn't want to be distracted. So I barely posted anything. I think I posted 1 or 2 things. I was meant to post more, also like for my sponsors as well, who have been super supportive. NuFitness for a supplement, One Meal for my meal prep, and Toxic Angelz for my bikini suit. These 3 sponsors, they all have been super supportive. So I also wanted to take some more photos and videos for their use as well. But I just didn't want to do any of that. I'm so sorry. Because I just felt the sense of calmness and I didn't want to ruin it. I wanted to stay focused. And it's so weird because I've competed probably 8 times, 7 times, 8 times, and there was only one other time that I felt like that, and that was the day I won my pro card. I felt like something just hit me. I felt like I didn't want to be in social media. I didn't want to message too much. I just want to stay tunnel vision. And I had this weird emotions in my head. Today could be the day that changes my life. I mean, to be first Hong Kong Olympia qualified athlete, that really could change my life. So if you look at my prejudging video, I was quite nervous because I also like didn't know how it would go. But as soon as I stepped on stage, I saw the head judge's face. So the head judge was Tarek. Tarek is one of the Olympia judges. He is from America. He's never judged me before, and he didn't know me before. So I saw his eyes just immediately turn to me. I hope I didn't make it up, but that's what I saw. So I immediately got this confidence because I've captured his attention. Then he moved me to the center. So if you're not familiar with the sport, usually in most cases, if you get called out in first call out, then you're probably top 5 to 7, depending on how many girls they call out in the first call out. And most of the time, if you're in center, that means you're first or second place. That's usually the case 99% of the time. And he never moved me out. So I shared center stage with Nataya, but Nataya had gotten moved out a couple times to compare with other girls, and I stayed still in center. So that's when I thought I could have gotten it. So it gave me so much more confidence into finals because I knew the judge liked my look. But in finals, I was a lot more confident, and yeah, and then it happened. I won, and I became the first Hong Kong Olympia qualified athlete. It's such a surreal feeling. It's just crazy because when I think back to when I first started competing, I really didn't think I would go this far, and I feel emotional talking about it now. Not staged, but I never thought I would go this far. And obviously then I got my pro card, and it's just cringe to say, but honestly, if you keep working hard and if you stay consistent, great things could happen. Like, I really never knew. If you saw my photos from my first show, you'd be like, she would never turn pro. Like, my ex-boyfriend said I could never be a bikini competitor. So yeah, so if you work hard and smart, don't just work hard, you need to have the right approach. So if you work hard, work smart, if you're consistent, it will happen. But anyway, yeah, so I won. So before this competition, I already registered. Okay, wait, hold on. So even though I won the show, I still want to feedback because it's like you will never improve if you don't get feedback. And I know that even if I won that show, it doesn't mean I'm perfect. So I still need to improve. This is the beauty of this sport. You just keep improving, you keep getting feedback. If you don't listen to judges' feedback, you don't try to improve the way they want anyway. If you're stuck in your own way, then it's really hard for you to go further. I've seen a lot of people like that. So this time I also got my feedback, and the judge Tarek said that he wanted me to be a bit leaner, which I agree. He wanted a little bit more glute ham tie in, but obviously not too much for bikini, but he wanted more. That was actually my fullest look ever. I felt that I was too hard last year, so this year we wanted to come in fuller. I've eaten the most I have during peak week, but we might have, I don't think I overspilled. I think I just wasn't lean enough to their standard. So before Orchid Pro, I already registered for San Diego Pacific USA, just because it's 1 week after and you never know what happened. I really didn't know I could take that show, so I just wanted to compete more, get more feedback, get more experience, and hopefully earn some more Olympia points or win a show. You never know. Which both my coach and boyfriend, even the judge himself, Tarek, they all said, don't go to the show. They said just enjoy your holiday, victory, then prepare for Olympia. You already won the qualification, which everyone dreams of. Why are you still going? And they also told me, obviously, the show in San Diego would have been a lot tougher. Lots of Olympians. I don't have the exact number, but I think probably 6 to 7, maybe even 8 Olympians. Everyone, my boyfriend, coach, judge, told me, if you go, you might not do as well. Will it defeat you? Is it going to take away your happiness? Is it going to make you doubt yourself or lower your confidence? So they felt that it's probably best that I don't do that show. But if you know me, I'm not a quitter. If I signed up, I'm competing. But second thing is, I just felt that if I'm going to Olympia, how can I be scared of a smaller show in San Diego? I mean, it's a tough lineup, but there are tougher lineups in Olympia. Also, if I want to improve and if I want to show my best and be comparable to other Olympians on the Olympia stage, shouldn't I be getting more feedback, more stage experience, so I get less nervous and I'm just more fluent on stage? But also if I get more feedback, then I can work to be better as well, right? So I still went. That night after Orchid Pro, I did enjoy a really good meal because my coach told me to. I was quite surprised because usually when there is a show after, he would be like, eat a salad. So that day, but he didn't want me to compete the weekend after. He said, take one night to relax, enjoy some food with your friends, then decide whether you wanted to do it. So I did. I enjoyed an amazing meal.
What are you doing right now?
Celebration time. So the next day the damage showed, so I actually was 2-3 kg up in one day. Obviously I knew that was a lot of food weight, water weight, and I also had to take like long flight to America. It was 20 plus hours of traveling. So for me to get more conditioned in a week was actually quite tough. I had to do the work. So as soon as I landed in America, I immediately went back on plan. I went a few low days, cardio every day, 60 minutes a day. Then my weight finally dropped and I was slightly tighter than Orchid Pro. I think I was 0.4 kg lighter than Orchid Pro, and also my physique also showed that I was tighter, which I will put the photos here. And I had such an amazing experience. It was a really well run show. Same judge, it was also Tarek, and I placed 9th out of this amazing pros. Was I disappointed about the result? I think I probably obviously wanted to place higher. I would have preferred to be in first call out, but I really wasn't upset because my goal was to get feedback. My goal was to be better for Olympia. I had mentally prepared myself for any outcome before San Diego. So what made me happy was obviously stepping on stage, seeing all these amazing girls. Like, these physiques really gave me so much motivation to keep working. The judge actually said he still wanted to be a bit tighter, which I agree, because when I saw other girls in that lineup, they were all quite conditioned in a good way. They were full, they were conditioned. Obviously can't be too conditioned too. There were girls that were too conditioned and they were placed after me, and I think their feedback was that they were too lean. So you need to find the right balance. But just seeing the amazing muscle mass and conditioning on those top girls just gave me so much drive. So the judge told me still needed to be more conditioned, but that's it. That's his only feedback anyway. But he did say I looked better than Orchid Pro. Bear in mind, he's the same judge that judged me in Orchid Pro and me to win. But he thought I looked better in San Diego than Orchid Pro. But the reason I placed 9th was because the other girls were better. It was really useful feedback, and seeing other girls, I know that I still need a little bit more muscle mass. So I think I definitely need more shoulders and more glutes. The glutes were crazy big. So these are the 2 body parts that I want to bring up a little bit for Olympia. I've got time to work. And other than that, I think obviously conditioning, just like the judge said, he wanted me to be more conditioned. So this time I'll just bring a more conditioned look, which shouldn't be hard to achieve, but because I've already done the prep, now my start point is not like a usual 12 weeks out. So anyway, to sum up, I've had such great experiences in these shows. Let me show off this. My trophy is beautiful. My trophy is at work. I put it at Hit PT. But this is with me. It's so funny about my trophy. I have to tell a little story. When I left the venue, I actually forgot about the trophy. I was too hungry, and then I grabbed James. I was like, let's go, I want to eat. Then I left the trophy, and then one of the judges, AJ, had to grab the trophy and run after me, ran to my Uber to give it back to me. But I'm just like, I was so embarrassed, because how could I forget about a trophy? Anyway, the trophy is safe and sound at the gym. I got this here at home. Amazing shows. So Orchid Pro will happen again in February 2023, and I do plan to be there just because of how well run the show was and how amazing everyone was. I just absolutely loved Singapore. Honestly, there is not a bad thing I could say about the show or the people. Very beautiful stage, and I know that they will only get better. I'm excited about that. It is in February, so 2 months after Olympia. That also means that I might be prepping for the rest of my life. Let's see. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've just been rambling. There's no guideline of what to say. Just trying to share every single bit of the prep and the show days. But if there is anything I've missed out, please comment down below. Then maybe I can talk about in the next few videos. Or if there is anything else you want me to touch on, let me know. Thank you so much. If you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe and of course like the video. Thank you.